Graham Mack on Fix Radio.
Have you been watching I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here? You were watching last night, you would have heard Rita fart. Yes, on national television. So what's your farting story, Mick?
Well, my wife's aunt got sort of buried at a funeral. And the vicar had one of these robes on.
He had one of these robes on, yeah.
To get to the church, you had to go up about 6 or 7 steps.
Yeah.
And he said, I'll go first, but probably the wind was blowing up, so he thought, I better run up the stairs. And all the family sort of standing behind him. And then he ran up the stairs. Every step he hit, he started.
If you could go back to something or someone, what would it be? Andrew?
1992.
Yeah.
Australian Leah. We had a young lass moved over from Australia. I'm madly in love with her. She was a bit of a tricky fish to manage. So I thought I'd make a play for Sister Bryony instead. And, while it worked out,
yeah,
it wasn't exactly ideal.
So hang on. So you ditched Leah and you went with Bryony. Bryony worked out, but what, you're still carrying a torch for Leah? Is that what happened?
Yeah, Leah was always the number one, really.
Well, why did you ditch her and go for her sister?
It's almost like hard work.
Oh, I see. She was a high-maintenance chick.
She was just difficult, yeah. I mean, I was only 10, so there wasn't much maintenance to be involved, was it?
Graham Mack on Fix Radio.
Word of the year is single use, which is 2 words, isn't it? So it's already annoyed me. Certain words do annoy you. What word can you not stand? Darren.
I'll tell you what I hate when people say bruv.
Oh, meaning brother.
I hate that when people say bruv, like, yeah, it sounds like prison talk and all that malarkey. I hate that. I hate when people say bruv.
So you hate it when people talk and they sound like they're a criminal or they should be a cast member in The Sweeney as one of the villains. You hate that kind of talk.
Or they're from some bleeding London gang of some sort.
Right,
like,
so you hate people who sound like they're from a London gang. Anyone who sounds like they've got that kind of that East End crazism, you don't like any of that kind of talk, right?
Well, even in the East End, they don't talk like that. They don't call each other brother and this, that and the other, like, you know what I mean? So,
right, yeah.
So it's just like...
Darren, do you think people should talk posh like you do?
I know how to mind my B's and Q's when I have to. Like,
you know how to mind. You know how to mind. Did you say you know how to mind your B's and Q's?
Yeah. Our generation, Graham, was brought up with values and manners. Manners don't cost anything.
No, it's like, good point.
But this generation are a bunch of little mate, and their parents let them get away with too much.
Right. Okay. All right. Thank you very much, Darren. So it's bruv for you.
Mate.
Yeah.
How you doing, Grace? Johnny Palace.
Hello, Johnny. We're talking about rip-offs today.
I went to the dentist for the first time in a long time.
Yeah.
I went in there and I had a little check-up. He said, your teeth are okay, your brushing's okay, whatever, but you've got a little tiny crack at the back there, we can fill it up for you. And I said, yeah, go on, fill it up, brilliant. Anyway, I went downstairs 20 minutes later and they charged me £110. £110, Graham, I couldn't believe it.
Do you know how a dentist works out his bill? It's quite an interesting formula they use.
No, I don't. I'd like to know.
Okay, what they do is they take the price of a brand new Porsche 911. Then they divide that figure by the amount of customers they estimate they'll have in 1 year. And that's what you pay.
I wondered why it was so high.
That's what it is, yeah.
I can believe that.
Bonfire night tonight, Stu.
I thought it'd been going on for the last week.
Well, that's it, isn't it? It goes on for... It's like... It used to be just one night, didn't it? Remember that?
It was one quite special night, yeah.
Yeah, no, it goes on for weeks before and weeks afterwards, and you've got to be careful if you complain because, I was on a radio station in Birmingham, and it was like 3 days before Bonfire Night, and I was doing the breakfast show, and I was woken up in the middle of the night, 8 o'clock. I was like, because, I'd gone to bed early, shift work, And I went on the air the next day and I gave it to him. I'm like, it's not even bonfire night. What are you doing? Why don't you wait? It's not special. You wake me up. And I went on and on and on and on and on and didn't realise it was Diwali.
Oh, right.
Yeah, so I went on in the West Midlands. It was super offensive. Yeah, super offensive.
I can't believe that of you, Graham, being offensive.
No, I was accidentally offensive. It was on this day in 1904 that the English engineer John Ambrose Fleming got a patent for the thermionic valve. It's because of these valves that old-fashioned radios and TVs were so big. In the 60s, valves were replaced by transistors, allowing entertainment devices to become much smaller. And then along came the microchip and things could be miniaturized. The same thing has happened with tomato sauce. When tomato sauce first came out, it was only available in giant glass bottles. The whole family had to sit round the bottle to enjoy it. Then in the 60s, the transistor made it possible for the pocket tomato sauce bottle to be invented. Now it was portable. It could leave the house and could be enjoyed anywhere. At a picnic, on the beach, even in the car. Thanks to microprocessors, tomato sauce these days is available in tiny sachets, no bigger than a credit card. Now you can carry tomato sauce with you wherever you go. A gentleman can keep tomato sauce in his wallet, and a lady can carry tomato sauce around without ruining the fine lines of a tightly fitting cagoule. Talking about this giant fiberglass gorilla that's been nicked off the roof of a hotel in Soho. Witnesses say they saw two fellas in high-vis jackets escaping with the gorilla via a building site next door. So I'd like to know, what have you had stolen? Andy?
Only my heart is the one thing that's been stolen.
And who stole your heart?
Oh, I can't really say, can I? You know.
Why? Because in case your wife's listening.
No, I don't have a wife, but the lady that stole my heart may be listening, and I'm not sure that the feelings are reciprocated, shall we say.
Oh, my goodness. This is a tale of forbidden love.
Well, yes, it's a tough gig, I have to say.
Well, just tell me how you know this person.
I work with her, actually, funnily enough. Yeah, I work with her, and she's really lovely. She's a really nice person, very creative.
Well, why haven't you made a move?
There's 24 years difference, so...
Well, she's younger?
There we go. Yes.
How old is she?
She's 30.
Right.
30.
And so you're, what, 54?
Yeah, very good.
And you're sure this is the real thing and it's not just a midlife crisis?
Oh, I've had one midlife crisis.
What was that? What happened during that?
I bought a VW camper and sort of just was away in that for weeks on end and sort of travel around Europe and stuff. And yeah, it was good time.
But now you're back on the straight and narrow.
I wouldn't go that far.
You seen these sports cars? They're called a Crossfire. You seen them?
I have, yes.
Yeah, mate of mine bought one of them when he hit his 50s, and I think it was his midlife Chrysler. Yeah. So, well, what's her name? You can't say her name, and you work with her. And do you think she's got any clue that you? I mean, she's not in a relationship, is she?
No, she's not. No, she does come around and stay every now and then, and
she stays at your house.
She does, yeah. I cook nice meals.
Okay. Are there any of her grooming products in your bathroom cabinet?
There are, mainly because I.
Mate, you're in a relationship. This is an active thing. What makes you think she stays over? You cook for her, and her personal female grooming products are in the bathroom. You're in a relationship.
Caring guy, Graham. I'm such a catch. She doesn't know what she's missing.
She's not missing. You're in a relationship with her. Now, hang on. Now, I don't want to pry I don't want to pry too much. But when she stays over, does she stay in the same room as you?
Sleep?
Yeah.
On the last occasion, yes. We did share a bed.
Right. Oh, hang on. You share a bed.
No.
You cook for her. She stays over. She has grooming products in the bathroom cabinet. You're in a relationship, my friend. It's already happening.
Yeah. Is it really?
Yes.
Your charge, maybe.
It's definitely happening. Okay, the final personal question. Well, we're all thinking it. You said she stayed in the same bed. Was there action?
No, there wasn't. No, only action, I think.
What's the matter with you?
Yeah, I know.
What is wrong with you?
I'm a gentleman.
Wow.
I would hate to make an inappropriate move on a younger lady.
She probably thinks you're gay.
Probably.
Graham Mack.
We're talking about rip-offs today, Darren. What's happened to you?
I actually stayed in a hotel. I was only staying there for the night. I just only wanted a bed, didn't want any breakfast. That was in Holland. When I went to Holland, and she charged me 90 quid. And I said, well, I don't want the breakfast, darling. And she said, well, it's in with the price. I said, but I don't want a breakfast because it's not full English breakfast. It's one of them continental, all your cheese and silly bread and ham and stuff like I said, I don't want none of that. I said, and it was still 90 quid. I had to do it.
You didn't think of going down for breakfast anyway and just getting some of the rolls, bit of butter, maybe some of the fillings and whatever, make yourself a nice packed lunch for later in the day?
Well, I didn't think about that, Graham, at the time. All I wanted, it was a beer.
Right, okay.
And the bar in the hotel weren't open until 12 o'clock, but the hotel was next to the railway station,
Yeah.
So that's where I went, in there.
Yeah.
And I got ripped off like 20 euros for 4 cans of Heineken Export.
Really? Right.
Yeah.
And so, were there 3 other people with you?
No, they were for my breakfast, weren't they?
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm Graham Mack, and I'm going to give up radio, and I'm going to become an international art thief. Yeah, you see, Fix Radio in London, it's in Bankside. We're not that far from the Tate Modern. So every lunchtime, I've been going over there and looking at the art. And I've started thinking about how hard it would be to steal one of the paintings. I've looked around the back of a lot of them, and I can't see any wiring or anything that looks like an alarm. It's also clear that they're just hanging on the walls without anything securing them. And there isn't always a security person in every gallery, so if I time it right, it wouldn't be that difficult to just lift the painting off the wall and have it away. Now, the major problem would be getting out of the building. None of the art's on the ground floor, level 1. The Tate Modern is an old power station, so it's huge, and the combined entrance exits are a long way from the galleries. There are 2 security guards posted at each entrance exit, and they seem more interested in me when I'm on my way out than when I'm on my way in. And the rules say you're not allowed to take in any bag that's larger than cabin baggage. Sports and recreational equipment are banned, and so are musical instruments. Large wheelie bags or boxes are not allowed. So keeping the painting hidden as I walk out past the guards is the real challenge. to take some time to get it out. So it will be important to make sure that no one realizes it's missing till I'm long gone. That's why I've chosen a relatively famous painting. One that I can buy a print of the same size as the original. If no one notices me making the switch, it could be days before anyone realizes the original has disappeared. And the really good news is I can buy a high-quality reproduction from the gift shop in the Turbine Hall on level 0. The painting I've chosen is Picasso's Weeping Woman, which is on level 2. I took my tape measure in there yesterday, and I've got all the dimensions. The print I'll need is 608mm by 500mm. And once I've bought the replica, I'll take it to a framer's. With the photograph I took of it hanging on the wall in the Tate last week, I'll get them to put it in an identical frame, the identical size, which I measured as 847mm by 739mm by 86mm. Now, I need 2 accomplices. One to cause a diversion, and the other to play the part of a person with a disability. I'll get a wheelchair. I'll get it adapted, so there's a compartment behind the seat, just the right size to slot the replica or the original painting in from the top. And to a security guard, it'll just look like a padded seat back. So, I'll place the wheelchair with accomplice 1 on board in front of the Weeping Woman. I'll put the brake on and wait for accomplice 2 to accidentally knock over the awkward metal sculpture in the gallery next door. The people in the small gallery where the Picasso is hanging, and any security guards, will walk through to the other room to see what all the commotion is about. That's when accomplice number 1 will get up out of the wheelchair and just take the Weeping Woman off the wall. At the same time, I'll pull out the replica from the compartment behind the seat and we'll have it hanging on the wall in the Tate Modern before accomplice 1 slots the original back into the compartment behind the seat on the wheelchair. Then I'll just wheel accomplice number 1 and the painting to the lift, get out at level 1, and wheel both of them past the security guards at the nearest exit. The really good news is, I'm unlikely to get caught. According to Noah Charney, who's a scholar and author who's published loads of books on art theft, we're very bad at catching art thieves. There's a really low recovery and prosecution rate. Something like 1.5% cases of art theft see the art recovered and the criminal prosecuted. I like those odds. The only flaw in my plan is, according to this Charney, in an article published in insurancejournal.com, fine art theft is relatively easy, but selling the stolen art is almost impossible. He says, people assume they'll be able to find a criminal art collector, when in fact, there are very few historical examples, maybe a dozen or 20 who fit the bill. Hundreds of art objects are stolen every year, so those odds are bad. For my new career as an international art thief to take off, what I need to do is find a buyer in advance. And that's where you come in. Wanna buy a Picasso?
Gray and Mack on Fix Radio.